Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Art of Life. I just want to say thank you for everyone who saw my last video. It actually doubled my views for my first video, so I want to say thank you. But again, thank you for tuning in to The Art of Life. Today will be more of a serious video. It's going to be about me and what I've been through, and hopefully I can help somebody out there from the stories that I can tell you about myself. Start off, hi, my name is Art. I am 32 years young, and I live in Washington State, not confused with Washington, D.C. I've been here for 4 months, and I'm loving it. It's an amazing move. I'm so happy I moved here. It's amazing, basically. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. So about 3 years ago, I had something very traumatic happen to me. It's nothing like that. It's more medical. Yeah, more medical way or medical thing that happened to me. So if y'all don't know that well, they told me I don't have it anymore, but I used to have diverticulitis. And it was a rough, from 21 to 27, trust me, it was the rough years of my life. And I've gone through so much battles and struggles. I shed many tears. Y'all don't know I don't like to cry. I had to ask people to do stuff for me, which again, I don't like to do. I'm an independent person. Do whatever I need to do by myself. But here's my story. So I want to say, let's start with the very beginning. So 21, I had stomach pains. I didn't know what was going on. I was pale. My stomach blew out. It was hard. This is like Halloween. Just turned 21, and I was just in pain. And so my parents, everyone in my family heard the story. Not apparently, this is what actually happened. My mom was at a church event, and I was home by myself. And I was calling my mom, like, Mom, I need you to come home. I need you to come home. Click. Mom, I need you to come home. I don't feel good. My stomach hurts. My stomach hurts. Mom, I need to do the hospital. Mom, please help me. Click. I don't think my mom was hearing me. She just heard my voice and was like, click. So again, I was calling my dad. I was calling my whole family, my sister, my mom, my dad. No one wanted to answer the phone. No one answered the phone. And all of a sudden they come home, and I'm just on the ground, fetal position, just like crying and sweating at the same time. Mind you, I didn't have insurance at this time. I know, very bad. So it was hard going to I had to go to the ER. So go to the ER, tell me that my blood pressure is elevated. I'm in pain. I'm like, duh. To all tests, find out I have diverticulitis. So I was in there for 3 days, and then they released me. So fast forward a couple years later, I had a really big scare. I was in the hospital, and didn't learn from my last visit. Still didn't have insurance. Had to go to the ER again. I had to do all these tests again, which I hated. It's just, I knew I had diverticulitis, but I didn't want to eat differently because I didn't really care. And doctors always told me, worst case scenario, ileostomy costs you back for the rest of your life. And that's one thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do that. I was scared of that, but yet I wasn't scared enough to where I stopped eating what I couldn't eat. So I was in the hospital. Mind you, my heart was elevated. I was sick. I was yellow. And then it was just my stomach was blowing out. And I didn't feel right. Like, my mom tried to put, I had a fever. My mom tried to put vapor rub on my feet with my socks so I could sweat it out. That wasn't happening. I was delirious. Couldn't keep food down. Just sweaty and just in pain, constant pain. It was just like someone stabbing you in the stomach and twisting it. Ugh, I still get chills from this day. So the doctors told me I had a golf size a golf-size blood clot on my kidney, on my liver, and that I had a perforation, and it was bad. It was really bad. So I was in the hospital, trying to get me antibiotics, trying to keep this infection down because my blood count was going low. They asked me questions that I know they asked everybody, which made me feel uncomfortable because my mom was in the room. They did an HIV test, they did everything, and they did just like different strains of viruses that I had because I was really sick. My blood count was about nearly like 2. So I get the test results back, and they like, okay, you have a really big blood clot, and you have an abscess as well. And I'm like, what the heck, an abscess? And I was like, so my body was hurting so bad, and it was such an it was so infected that I created an abscess as well. And the abscess and the blood clot were around the same, right around the same size, which is like a golf ball, which is really huge. So they go in, that's like a few more hours, and like, okay, we're gonna take a test on the abscess and to see if we can drain it. Whew. I was in so much pain when they did it, and it felt like they did it in the office. Like, I felt like I was in the office. And then they did tests and everything, and so they tell us what they're gonna do. So they told me that they just want to get rid of my colon and just do it right then and there. Just take it out, don't worry about it, whatever. Imagine, I have insurance, but I need a second opinion. So me and mom were praying about it. I'm like, no. I need a sign. Like, this is not right. I know a lot of people out there who really had that surgery to take the colon out, so they don't have to worry about it, and they're living their best life. But I know this wasn't my destiny to have. Like, this is not for me. This is no. I was like, no, heck no, it's not mine. So, they told me, I asked them if I can have like a day and a half to think about it. This is a big decision, remove my whole colon. So the doctor's, okay, I give you a day, but the longer we wait, the more worse you're gonna be off. I was okay. And then like the next day my insurance kicked in. So I was like, heck yes, mind you, this was the worst hospital stay in my life. The air conditioner was broken, I had fans on me. It was just always hot. It was in the middle of summer. The nurses were basically fighting me on taking my meds. Sometimes they wouldn't even call. They wouldn't come when I call. It was just a headache. And like, even going to the next hospital was a horrific story because they discharged me before they told them that I had to be quarantined. I had to be in my own room. And it was like 5 minutes before I had my pain medicine. If I didn't have pain medicine, I was crazy. So that ordeal happened, and I got switched to another hospital, which thank God I did, because it was basically the hospital that saved my life. Go to the new hospital, told me that my first hospital lost my CT scans, my x-rays, everything. And I was like, sure they did. Why wouldn't it was just, to this point, it was just like, yeah, they would do that to me, because I swear to you, they did not like me at all. So I had to do all the tests again. And mind you, I was getting pumped with antibiotics, just heavy antibiotics. I was so tired, so sleepy, so groggy. And then did all my tests, and everything came out good, that I was actually getting better. I was on the mend, basically. So they put me into the regular hospital. It was right here, right before, like where I was at now. It was like a small little room, just like quarantine, make sure I get better. So they transferred me to another room. It was actually cool because I thought it was bigger. It had my own TV, and it was more room, basically, because the room I had before, it was just like an overflow room. But whatever, it's cool, it's a hospital, who cares? So the test came back, and the doctor's like, okay, you're getting better, but we just want to make sure your abscess goes down. If it doesn't go down, then we have to go in there and then drain it. So basically what they do is they put a tube to the abscess and then tube out of my stomach, and then just let it drain out by itself. And I was like, no, I don't want a surgery right now. Mind you, I'm still scarred from what the first hospital told me. So like, no, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. No. So I swear to you, me and my mom and my family just prayed so much, so many times, so many hours a day, just trying straight praying all the time. And then thanks to God, the abscess went down. I was like, hey, cool. My blood count was better. Everything's amazing. I was getting better. I was like, yes, I'm gonna go home. So I was like, okay, we're gonna ask you to come back so we can discuss your lab results and everything. I was like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. Didn't think about it. So the next day, I go to the hospital and I talked to my doctor about everything that I went through, and then he told me the results of my test. He's okay. We just want to see a colonoscopy to make sure everything's good up there, just so we know everything's out and you're doing better and you're on the mend and you don't need any more medical attention. I was like, okay, yeah, colonoscopy, whatever, cool. And they told me I'm gonna be under, not heavily under, but enough to where I don't need a nose tube or anything like that. So I was like, okay, cool. And that they should go up there, make sure everything looks cool. I'm like, okay, cool. Go for a colonoscopy. Did the whole darn thing, the broth, the jello, the disgusting drink, pooped my brains out. It was not cool, but I had to do it just so I can see that I'm getting better. Do it, wake up. I was like, did you guys do it yet? And like, yes sir, yes Mr. Shaw, we did it. I was like, okay, cool. And then my doctor goes, we have bad news. I was like, of course you do. You would have bad news right now. He's like, we didn't do it all the way. You had 7 polyps that we couldn't just maneuver the camera because we didn't have a gastroenterologist there. I was like, 7 polyps? They're like, don't worry about it. We took a sample of it. It's in the labs. We're gonna see if it's cancerous. Like, don't worry about it. But we need you to stay overnight and do it tomorrow. I was like, so I have to do it twice. This stupid diet twice? I had to drink broth and God knows whatever that stupid drink again, and then poop my pants again? Like, yes. I'm like, I can't say no about it. So next day comes about, they get me and they wheel me across the street. And if you know me, I'm 6'6" again. I'm 6'6". So my legs were like this, my feet were dragging on the ground. I felt so bad for the guy. So I just put my heels up and just had him like, go, push. It was just like for sure sore ass. So go to get my colonoscopy. Mind you, this is Twilight State. Twilight State sucks because you wake up in the middle of it. So what I do, I wake up in the middle of it, felt like I was getting taken over by aliens. Until the doctor stopped screaming at the doctors, telling them I'm gonna explode, like stop. But the doctor's like, no sir, you're not gonna explode, don't worry about it, just go back to bed. I'm like, I can't, there's aliens here. And so, and then all of a sudden I fell back asleep and I woke up and I was in the recovery room. Then the doctor's like, okay, I need you to come back a couple days to discuss what we found and what's our next steps. I was like, okay, whatever. Mind you, I've been going back and forth to the doctors so many times that the parking attendant knows who I am and my family. So go back to discuss the results, and they told me the polyps weren't cancerous, that our next option is to have surgery to take the affected piece of my colon out. Again, if you guys don't know what diverticulitis is, it is when everyone has pockets in their colon, and my pockets are bigger than the average person, and what that entails is that I can't digest hard shell seeds or nuts foods. They get stuck in the pockets of the colon, and once they get stuck in there, they get rotten, which is when they get rotten, the body tries to push it out, and that's how you get perforations, that's how you get septic, that's how bad things happen, because your poop is basically floating everywhere willy-nilly, if you say. So that is diverticulitis. I know I have to explain it. People are like, what's that? What's diverticulitis? So that's what I had. And for many years. And perforations, God knows how many perforations I had. Yeah. So the doctor told me, let's just cut the infected piece out and you're good to go. Don't like it would be like you never had diverticulitis ever. I was like, okay, let's do that. Cut to surgery day. Starving, haven't eaten anything, on edge. I was just like, what's gonna happen? Mind you, this is the first surgery I've ever had that I was an adult for that I would actually remember. So I was freaking out. I was freaking out. So, it still gives me chills this day. So, and mind you, this is the day that changed the rest of my life. This is the day. So, okay, sorry, it's gonna take me a while. So the first surgery happened. They couldn't find the infected piece of my colon that they tattooed when they gave me the colonoscopy. So what they did was, instead of making the incision that is this big, they made it to the point where it went up to my middle of my chest, all the way down to my pelvic bone. And the doctor told me it was inside my stomach, just like trying to find that tattoo piece or that infected piece, just like in there. It was only, surgery was supposed to take 4 hours. It ended up being 7 hours. 7 hours I was on the table. 7 hours I was just there, unconscious. 7 hours my doctor was there trying to figure out where that piece is at, and he was going. And everything was done. He snipped it, put it back together, closed me up, and he told me that he just pushed everything in. He told me all my intestines were on a table, and what he did was just scoop them and put it back in. And then the body knows itself, so everything went in the right spot, which is crazy. So I wake up, I was like, oh, what's going on? And the doctor goes, oh, are you in pain? I'm like, no, I'm okay right now, thank God, because before the surgery, I got an epidural, and I was like, whew, am I gonna give birth? I'm like, no. I thought I had the charts mixed. I was like, no, I'm not a girl. I'm not giving birth. Like, no. It helps. The epidural helps with the lower body because it'll just numb the lower body and you don't feel anything when you wake up. I was like, okay, cool. Until they put me on the blocks and they're like, sir, don't move or you'll be paralyzed. I was like, oh, okay, I won't move then. So that's why I was in pain when I woke up. And so I just felt bloated. It was a lot of pain in my stomach. Mind you, it's such a core, so I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything, couldn't wiggle. And it was just a weird thing. They put me in a shared room, and mind you, my neighbor was annoying, kept on talking, mind you, I'm in pain still, kept on talking, kept on going crazy, kept on talking to the nurses, and I found out it was my uncle's cousin. It was weird. It was a weird thing, but he just kept on, yeah. This is why if I ever get surgeries, I always ask for a private room, because not trying to be a diva or anything, but I'd rather be by myself than talking to people. Because I don't want to hear what people want to say. I don't want to hear what they're going to say to each other. Like, if you're not there for me, then you can leave. I just don't want more bodies in there that you don't need to. So, yeah. I know it's rude, but if you've been in more hospitals than I have, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm in the room recovering with the annoying neighbor that I have, but I started hiccuping, and my stomach started bloating up. Like, it was hurting so bad. I just couldn't get comfortable. I had staples all the way from, remember guys, from the middle of my chest all the way down to the pelvic bone, and just like these hiccups were hurt. I don't understand like how I got hiccups. So my mom asked the doctor, so, hey, so how do we know if this surgery went well or if it didn't go well? He's like, well, your son will develop hiccups and you're bloating. And basically I was just like, of course that would happen to me. Of course the surgery wouldn't take. I was devastated. I was to a point where I was like, Lord Jesus, please help me. Please let this hiccups just run its course and to just get out my body and make my bloating go, and just like heal myself because I need a miracle right now. I just need you to touch my body and make it brand new, basically. I was just like, Lord Jesus, please, please, please. I was just, it was heartbreaking because I thought I'm gonna be done, out in and out, let's do this thing. But no, it was a crazy ride. So the doctor's like, no, we have to do more tests and see if everything's good and to make sure like what's wrong. So I had to get MRI done and a CT scan, and it hurt because I have a wound that was a fresh wound with staples in it. I couldn't move my body, I couldn't do anything. I was crying because of the pain. I couldn't get up, I couldn't get onto the bed to go through the CT scan, couldn't do anything like that. It just sucked. And then I had to get ultrasound, which hurt because they're pressing on my stomach. It was ridiculous. I legit cried the whole time. So I got back to my room, like, okay, we need to do an emergency surgery. Why? And they told me because the piece of my colon that they spliced together couldn't take because it was still infected. So I was like, so it's gonna be the same surgery all over again? He's like, yeah, but hopefully it'll be quick and easy and get what we need to get. It'll be a good deal. And I was like, okay, you're the boss, I guess. So the night of my surgery, I was sad because I had to do surgery again. And mind you, I was on antibiotics, I was on pain meds, I was on blood thinners because of the blood. I was prone to blood clots. It was a doozy. It was crazy. So surgery happened, and before that I was like, oh, where's my epidural? Like, sorry sir, you can't get an epidural because you're on blood thinners. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, you will bleed out if we put an epidural in your back. And I'm like, of course it would. Of course I can get an epidural. Or whatever. I'm like, telling myself, I'm like, how much was gonna hurt anyways? I'll be doped up, whatever. Surgery happened. Oh my god. This surgery was a doozy. So I guess when they're inside, when they're trying to figure out what to do with my colon, they didn't want to cut too much because you cannot, if you cut too much, there'll be problems that happen. And then the problem that was happening with my stomach, the reason why it was bloating so much, it was bigger than I thought. I was almost septic, basically. Just sewage just everywhere in my body. The leak in my colon that wasn't spliced together was just bigger than I thought. Just nothing was going through. And at this point, they took my mom in the room. My mom told me, she was like crying. She was like, no, I don't go in there. I don't go in there. Because basically, if you know, the room is where they tell family members that this person that had surgery passed away. But they actually got my mom in the room and I told her, no, your son's doing fine, just that your son has to have an ileostomy bag. So the difference between an ileostomy bag and an ostomy bag is that it's the same placement, but an ileostomy is more liquid because it's in your ileum, and then ostomy bag is where it's solid. So ileostomy is before it turns into a solid waste, and ostomy bag is when it's already poop. So a little thing for you guys. So I was getting an ileostomy bag. So they were trying to figure out which way to tell me. And mind you, I was still asleep. So I woke up, pain in my lower half. I was like, Lord Jesus, I feel like I got run over by a truck. It was just so bad, just like a big semi on my pelvis. Just, I didn't like it at all. And I woke up, and I didn't notice anything different. I had to go pee, I go to the bathroom, and I thought I had to take I had to go number 2. And the nurse is like, no, you don't need to go. I'm like, what up? I know when I need to go, when I need to go now. I'm like, no. You can't go. Like, you don't need to go. I'm like, no, I need to go now. And then, like, no, look, you can't. I'm like, I need to go now. Like, no, you can't. And then she lifted, I remember this like it was yesterday. She lifted up my blanket, and there it is in the ileostomy bag, just there. And it was just like, I was just stunned. Like, what is this doing on my body? Like, I didn't, like, what? I was just in shock, basically. Like, wow, my worst fear has come alive. Like, sorry. That something that I was threatened with that I thought I would never get, I actually have. And then it just dawned on me, like, it's happening. Like, I messed my body up so bad that the worst case scenario was true. That was crazy. Nothing can prepare you for something like that. Because the doctor told me it could be a possibility, but it's not guaranteed. But when you just look down, you're just like, wow. Like, it's real life. Sorry. It's real life. So I was just done with that, and then they couldn't get my heart rate down. Sorry. They couldn't get my heart rate down. It was just like going up, skyrocket. They couldn't lower it. I couldn't have anything to eat still because they're waiting for my heart rate to go down. It took about like 7-8 hours to get my heart rate down. I was at 198 and just didn't want to go down. I was in pain. They wanted to give me pain pills. I barely remember anything. I just remembered I was in a room shivering because I was cold. And I was just in pain. No one could visit me. I felt alone a little bit. I couldn't move because, again, I had 2 surgeries on my stomach, like in my core muscles. Like, I was done. I couldn't move, couldn't do anything. It was in pain, and it was dark. I felt alone. It was just no one there, nurses there, but just coming by to see how I'm doing, my breathing and my heart rate. But it was just weird. Like, I can't explain it. But they were just waiting for my heart rate to go down so they can transport me to a room. And it took longer than expected. It's just, sorry. Just talking about this back just brings up old memories, kind of. Stuff that I thought I moved on with, but slowly but surely getting to move on with. But yeah, I felt alone when I was in the recovery room. And then, with everything wearing off, I was in so much pain. And I also had a nose tube. That's a different story too. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This will be a 2-part series. You're watching part 1. If you love this part 2 is gonna be better. I just want to tell you guys again, make sure to like and subscribe my videos to keep up with everything I post that's new, and comment what you guys want me to do in the next video. Want me to eat something? You want me to talk about something? Just let me know in the comments below, okay guys? Again, thank you guys. Mwah.